Might help when we turn the board on, guys.
Breast cancer is one of the most common cancers women in America are diagnosed.
Testing.
Men can also be diagnosed with breast cancer with around 2,800 cases.
Dan.
Breast cancer has affected many in America and in our communities. Many of us do not know the Martin family personally from Turner City, but most of us have heard Mason's name and have been praying for him in the last few weeks.
Okay, Gator Nation, what's happening? I believe we're live, but you never know tonight the way things are going. I'm here with Carrie Hauver and Jeremy Morey, who thankfully filled in for me, was it 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago,
What game was that, Union?
Yep, Union AC Valley.
Okay, I thank you for that, Jeremy. Jeremy's going to do our down and distance for us on the stream. We apologize for the late start. Working through some issues here, but I think we're good to go to bring you a good night of football. Late October. It's typical late October, Port Allegany. It's a swamp. It's going to be a swamp. It rained all day here. Weather's going to be a factor tonight. The field looks a little sloppy. Yeah, I would say so. In between the hashes, it's going to be a tough game to get things going. So quickly, I'm going to turn to Kerry and let him give you some pointers on Keystone, who they have, and how they might be able to win this game tonight.
Eli Nellis.
Yeah, some names to
Number
listen
6,
for Keystone tonight. It looks like sort of a youth movement for Keystone. Their quarterback is number 1, Dom Corsetti, a freshman. Looks like 3 people running the ball are the main people carrying the ball. Number 3, Eli Nellis, a freshman. Number 2, Jacob Henry, a sophomore. And number 12, Race Weaver, a senior. Nellis has 632 yards on the season. Weaver has 487 yards. Henry has 413 yards. Nellis looks like he broke a 67-yard carry, so it looks like he has some breakaway speed. As far as receiving, looks like number 3, Drew Keith, a junior, 21 catches, 350 yards, 4 TDs on the season. His longest catch went for 60. And Eli Nellis, 223 yards on the season. Number 20, Drew Slogenhop, 160 yards. Looks like Jacob Henry and Elijah Will will be the 2 names we'll be calling on defense. They have 53 tackles and 47 tackles. Overall, they've had 10 total interceptions on the season. So look for them to be ball hawks. So we're getting close to game time here. That's just a quick synopsis of Keystone.
Thank you, Kerry.
Sophomore running back Aiden Bliss.
Gators are set to receive the kickoff.
Number 51, Carson Neely. Number 60, Levi Wilfong. Number 64, Miska Young.
The field is aligned with pink. Pink is everywhere. Kerry has a pink shirt on today. If you can see him, he looks pretty sharp.
Thank you, Doug.
Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And there's the kickoff. Bliss is bringing it back, brings it up just past the 30, up to the 35. Is tackled by number 15, number 52.
Yeah, Aiden Bliss carrying the kick return there. We didn't really have time to talk about last week, but Aiden Bliss carried the load last week, 26 carries, 172 yards, 2 touchdowns, the only 2 touchdowns for the Gators. So he had a big week last week.
Yeah, that was 52. Peyton Shea on the tackle, senior guard linebacker for Keystone. Gators hand it off to Stiles. He patiently works up, but he's met by 3 Keystone players for maybe a 1-yard gain.
You know, with some sloppy weather, I expect to see the Gators probably keep it on the ground. They've got the veteran offensive line. They've got the 2-headed monster in the backfield. I texted you this week, kind of remarkable. Peyton Stiles, 797 yards rushing. Aiden Bliss, 788 yards rushing. That's a 1-2 monster we're happy to have.
Wilfong under center, tries to get him to jump, and there is a flag. Yeah, Kerry, you're right. Stiles and Bliss combined are over 2,000 yards rushing and receiving. That's impressive backfield.
Yeah, it was uncanny. I was looking at the stats, you know, so then receiving-wise, let me flip my sheet here. I don't want to talk over the play, but Stiles, 17 catches, 255 yards receiving. Aiden Bliss, 13 catches, 246 yards receiving. So pretty remarkable, the output they've had.
Nick again under center, pitches outside to Stiles. Got a lot of room, gets tripped up, but not after he gains about 16 yards.
Stiles going to pick up about 9 yards on the play.
Yeah, that was a nice little run by Stiles. I saw Tristan Kaiser working downfield. The wide receivers have done a pretty good job blocking this year. That's what springs the long runs.
Gators now in the Wildcat. 3 wide receivers to the right. Bliss in the backfield. He's going to keep it and run right. Got a great hole, great blocking by 64. Took his man right out of the play. Miska Young with a great block opened that up for Bliss.
Yeah, so that looks like that stampede formation. Looks like they've tweaked it a little bit. They put Miska Young and Carson Neely on the same side. They just basically tell you, look, we're running right. Come stop us. And they picked up 5 yards there.
And truthfully, Kerry, no one has stopped the Gators' run, and that includes Central Clarion and Red Bank. Gators ran the ball well against both teams and everyone else they've played. Again, 22 with the keeper. He's going to get the first down. This time he goes left, makes a cut, gets the first down.
Yeah, so it's funny. I say they line up those two guys on the right, tell you we're going right, and then they pull them back to the left, and they go left, and they get the first down. So that was a good play call by the coaches.
Yep, formation-wise looked just the same, and Bliss went to the left that time. They're cleaning out his face mask. He's already picking up big chunks of mud. Now weather has been said to be the great equalizer, in these kind of games. But I don't know if it's going to help Keystone tonight, because a running game is what you want to lean on when you have a field in this type of condition.
Yeah, the two losses that the Gators have had, they were susceptible to the pass, but those were to possibly the two top teams in the district. So I don't know that it's going to make a huge difference today. Gators have been effective on the ground so far. We'll see if that continues.
Gators waiting to get to play. Yeah, let's see here. Central Clarion leads the state, Carrie, in scoring per game. They're up around 70 per game, which sounds like a basketball score. And then Red Bank is like 4th or 5th in the state.
Yeah,
so that says a lot. Shotgun, Bliss, with a lineman in the backfield with him. Is that Carson? Carson leads out. He's getting outside. He's outside. He's got a lot of room here. Nice run by Bliss. Really wasn't touched until he was tackled down by the 20-yard line. 10-yard line.
10-yard line.
My bad.
Yeah, that was a nice little run by Bliss. Back to what you were saying, I mean, the run has been effective against everybody, including Clarion and Red Bank Valley. The Gators just got too far behind. Red Bank Valley has a quick strike offense and just weren't able to catch up.
Again, Bliss in the backfield. Carson leads out. Great hole. Bliss just gets tripped up. Carson took his man out of the play.
Yeah,
Carson Neely.
Looks like number 2, Jacob Henry, the sophomore, stepped up and made the tackle there. Nice way to fill that hole.
It's funny, I look at this Keystone roster, and I see a Nellis, and I'm like, man, there's been a Nellis playing there for like 10 years. But there's been, I think, 3 brothers.
Oh, really?
All great athletes, great football players. Same formation. Neely in the backfield, big blocker. Bliss is going to follow him again. This time number 50 kind of breaks it up. We got a flag.
Yeah, it looked like 50 might have got him around the helmet. I don't know if that was the call or if maybe there was a hold. I guess we'll see. Looks like they're going back to the normal set with Funk and Wolfong coming back on. Vayu coming back on. Looks like Tyler Philhart will come off. And Ethan Tarbox.
That might be half the distance of the goal here. So Gators now on what looks to be maybe the 4-yard line. Nick waiting for the call, Nick Wilfong. Which, when I get a chance, I want to share a story about Nick's grandfather today. I had a good chat with.
Okay.
Nick under center, in the eye. Nick kept it, snuck it right in there and scored a touchdown. Nick Wilfong, little red squirrel, finds a way. Give him a crack. He's getting through. And he slipped right through there.
I think Nick just got tired of, these other guys getting all the credit. It's time for him to punch one in. So, yeah, good heads-up play there. Could have been a disaster. And just scooped and scored.
Did he fumble there? Because
looked like a little bit.
I thought the same thing, and then next thing I know, he's squirting up through the middle. Gators 6, Keystone 0. 8 minutes to go in the first quarter.
I'm getting a text to be closer to the mic. The other guy is louder than you. I think I just have a softer voice, but I don't know. I'll do my best.
Gators trying to punch it in up the middle. We got a sign from the near judge here. That is a 2-point conversion is good. The ambulance lights are lit up. And the Gators got an early score.
So that was Braylon Button on the 2-point conversion. Not a number you call very often, number 76 with the 2-point conversion, but he is an athletic kid, plays basketball.
Outstanding.
He's the punter for the Gators.
This is exactly what Keystone would have liked to have avoided, as a quick early score for the Gators. All run plays. No surprise there. And while we have a minute, I want to just mention our referee and umpires. We have Barry Baca as referee, umpire Scott Easton, Counter Sport Scott Easton, linesman Bob Boyer, line judge Kevin Rossner, field judge Craig Mancia, and side judge Jamie Evans. I'm going to watch that guy.
Yeah.
The flag going to get stuck in his pocket.
Yeah, a lot of Counter Sport officials in the league. I don't know, per capita, I think they have the most.
Nice kick by Funk, gets it down. That gets by number 2, goes into the end zone. They're going to let that go for a touchback.
Funk's kick goes into the end zone for a touchback.
Yeah, so as we're changing possession here, I ran into Ron Wilfong Sr. down at Stitch in Time, and we got to chatting, and he's very proud of his grandsons, Levi, Nick, and Braylon, all playing on this team. But he was picking up his pink T-shirt, and he wanted to give a shout out to his wife Tina, who's a cancer survivor, and that's what tonight and this month's all about, is recognizing that and the fight that everybody's doing to get through that when they're going through that. Big play by Carson Neely, makes a play in the backfield for a loss there.
Yeah, I was texting my parents. They went down to my brother's in southeastern Pennsylvania. I was, telling them about the breast cancer awareness night, and just wanted to know some of the family history for my family. My Aunt Carolyn Hauver, she had breast cancer twice and was able to overcome it. My grandmother had it once and recovered. And my dad's mom died of it at age 52. So
pass is complete from Keystone there to number 13. Drew Keth, who played quarterback last year. Interesting to me, I thought he had a really solid year as a freshman last year for Keystone. I mean, they went, met us in the playoffs. But this year they moved him to wide receiver, and he's having a solid year at wide receiver.
Yeah, he was one of the names I mentioned in the pregame. 350 yards, 21 catches, 4 TDs. His longest catch, 60 yards, so it looks like he has a little spring in his step to get down the field.
Quick handoff to number 3. He's trying to get outside. There's nowhere to go, just a swarm of black jerseys all around. But, yeah, back to Keth. I believe he was voted Freshman of the Year as a quarterback, but he played cornerback as well for Keystone. So solid athlete. I think we'll see more of him in this. And really, Keystone, if you're going to beat the Gators, you have to look at what Clarion, what Red Bank were able to do, and those are big plays in the passing game. You want to get a lead on this team. Quick screen out, ball's on the dirt, incomplete. He's trying to get it to number 3. That's Eli Nellis. Watch that number 3 tonight.
Looks like Keystone went trips there on this side, and Peyton Stiles just shot through there. If that's going to be an effective formation for Keystone, they're going to have to put a body on Peyton Stiles or whoever's on the other side.
6:19 to go in the first quarter. Gators lead 8-0. Grass looks slippery from up here. Shotgun. Quarterback rolls. Nice pass to number 20. He's got one man to beat, and he does. Nice play. Should have the first down. That's number 20, Drew Slogenhoff. That's a name I remember, too. He's a senior. We've called his name quite a bit the past couple years doing some of these games or just watching some of these games with Keystone.
Yeah, it seems like that's where the Gators have been susceptible, is those short passes. 3rd and, 12 to pick up the first down.
This game has almost turned into a long-distance rivalry. We've run into Keystone the last 2 years in the playoffs. Pitch out, number 3. He's got a lot of room. Good blocking. He's met at about the 44, just shy of the 45. Solid run play and well blocked.
Yeah, that was a nice play by Keystone. Was that about 5?
Nellis on the carries. He'll pick up
That was Nels on the carry.
Bring up 2nd and 5.
So number 1, that's a freshman quarterback this year, Dom Corsetti. Yep, quick little jet. And that's going to be a loss. Number 13, Drew Keth. There's just no way of getting around the corner. Gators strong run support outside.
Yeah, credit to Aiden Bliss coming from his middle linebacker spot, tracking him down near the sidelines for a loss of 1 or 2. It was a good play by Bliss. I think he leads the Gators on defense as far as tackles go. So maybe a short pass here.
Shotgun. He's got a back. Another jet option. He keeps it. That was number 6, Race Weaver. Race Weaver also listed as a quarterback and defensive back. He's a senior.
Looks like the young boys tag teamed in there. I saw Miski Young on the ground, Yuso Young on top.
Weaver on the carries.
Brothers Young.
Yuso Young is going to bring up 4th and about 4.
I did get confirmation I sound a little louder, so the magic of technology.
How'd you do it? Did you move the mic closer? For real?
I did.
Huh. Noted. Shotgun again. 3's in motion. Quarterback rolls right. He's looking. He's got an open man. What a throw and what a catch. Again, that's Keth sliding. Catches it. Fine catch. It doesn't look like the weather is affecting their throws for the most part.
Yeah, that was a nice little play by Corsetti. Funk was just there, just a hair too late, and made the reception. So good play by Keystone.
Keystone moving the chains. And honestly, the rollout is probably it's a good way to go against the Gators pass rush. Keystone off to the right side, but little no gain there. Maybe lost a yard.
Yeah, I'd like to watch that play back. It looks like they came, jet motion this way and then ran the opposite way. I don't know how they did that, but that was a pretty good play.
They're showing a good mix with the jet sweep and the quarterback option.
Brings up 2nd and 11.
And then that. It looks like a fog is rolling in. Inside run there. Look like, oh, he fumbled the ball. Gators are going to recover. Geyser with the recovery.
I was just about to say, Keystone does a really good job as far as ball fakes. I didn't know who had the ball, and then the ball was on the ground. So
they really do, and historically, their offensive have run that way, and it's like you have to be so disciplined as a defender to not get sucked up into the fakes. But they do turn it over there, and that's got to be a little disappointing for Keystone because they were driving methodically down the field. That was it was an impressive drive by them. That ball might have been a little wet. Nick and shotgun pitches right to Bliss. Bliss just loses footing, but Keystone was definitely they had that side wrapped up.
Yeah, I think the field conditions are going to probably deteriorate as the game goes on, and that'll certainly play a factor in how things go.
There's a flag there, and it is against the Gators. It's a hold. They're going to decline it.
Holding against the Gators, the penalty's been declined. It'll bring up 2nd and long.
Well, 5-yard loss on the play. Maybe that's the right decision. I guess we'll see.
I don't know. I don't understand it. It's 2nd down. It's not like
could have been what, 1st and 20 or 2nd and 15.
Yeah. It's from the spot of the hold. Anyway, Gators Styles gets the handoff, and he just bursts. He's gone. Oh, I spoke too soon. But there was nothing but open field there, but solid tackle by, was it number 52 that got him?
I'm not sure who got him. Aiden Bliss was almost running sidecar with him down the field, ready, just looking for somebody to block.
That was why we do have a Keystone player down right now. looks like a defensive lineman. But, yeah, I spoke too soon. There was nothing but field ahead of Peyton, and I thought he was just about to burst out of there. Good tackle. Yeah, there are some big games tonight. You know, and the season's winding down, Kerry. We're getting to the end here. We kind of know what's going to happen with the playoff scene. I mean, you're really looking at Red Bank and the Gators, but then I'm interested in the rest of the groups. You got Eldred, Cameron County, Coudersport's going to be there.
Yeah, so number 55 looks like he's up and hopping off the field. We're happy to see that. I was going to let you attempt that name.
Yes.
Brock Champlouvier.
Yes. I'm going to let you say it all night, too.
I hope he makes a few tackles so we can try that out.
Actually, Mr. Riley told me how to say it, but I've already forgotten. That's a name I recognize, too, over the years. Is he a senior?
Yep.
And the Gators, okay, inside run here to Bliss. Looks like maybe a gain of 2. 2 minutes and counting down here in the first quarter. Gators lead 8-0. It is not raining now, and it hasn't been raining since the game started. Field is very wet. I do see players slipping. It's something to continue to watch. I don't know if we're expecting any more rain. Okay, tight formation, 3 wide receivers to the right. Kaiser in motion.
He's
Whoa,
gone.
this is wide open. That's Bliss. He's not touched. He's going to score. There was just nobody at home for Keystone there. With 1:34 to go in the first quarter. It's 14.
Yeah, that was a wide open hole. Carson Neely was leading the charge there. He was just looking for somebody to hit. There was nobody to hit. Great run by Aiden, 48 yards. Coming into the game, Aiden had 16 total touchdowns, 14 on the ground, 2 in the air. So that makes 17 on the season. It's a great sophomore campaign for Bliss.
Oh, it's outstanding. You think about what his next 2 years could be like.
Yeah.
Funk to kick. Gators are going to. Now, it looks like, yeah, they went for that was intentional. They barked those guys off sides. Now they're a little closer to goal line. They're going to go for 2.
Yeah, we've mentioned Aiden Bliss's dad, Brandon Bliss. He was a pretty good running back in the day, mid to late 90s. Still has the 100-meter record in track. I think Brandon will be okay. We think that Aiden's probably going to be a little better than he was. So.
They usually are. And Bliss keeps it, goes off the right side, and he's in for 2.
Bliss keeps the 2-point try out of the Wildcat.
Gators lead. Should be 16-0. Minute 34.
Well, I stand corrected. Brandon Bliss was a fast runner back in the day and did hold the 100-meter record for a little while, but thankfully I'm sitting by Mr. Lawton, and he has corrected me and said that Bryce Baker is the current 100-meter record holder for the track team. So thank you for that.
Outstanding.
Do we know how fast it was? So I know Brandon's was 11:3. We'll go with 11:2.
I just can't picture Brandon running that fast.
My dad just sent me a text, said Cole Kisco sealed the corner well on Aiden's TD run. I didn't see that, Dad, but thank you for that. We always want to give kudos to the blockers.
Absolutely. This kind of field, it's a blockers game, really. Kickoff's good. Handled by number 3, and he's bringing it up. He's got a gap. He's got a lot of room here. He's going to be out to close to the 50. Breaks a tackle. Still going down to the Gators 45. there was nobody home in the middle of the field. He had one guy to beat there. Great return, number 3.
Yeah, you could see that.
Nellis.
That hole opened right up, and he shot through there. Thankfully, Tristan Kaiser was back to make the touchdown-saving tackle.
I tell you, obviously, I didn't go to broadcasting school, and what I find, Kerry, is these guys are so fast. They run faster than my mouth can speak, or maybe faster than my mind can think. It's like it's hard to articulate it when you see it. But number 1 now, rolling out, looking. He got pressure in his face. He's got an open man, though, and that's a 5-yard gain. Stiles wraps him up. But again, a nice rollout.
Yeah, nice play by Corsetti to roll out and make something happen there. I thought he was going to get swallowed up by the big defensive line by the Gators, but made a nice play.
He had 3 D linemen bearing down on him. But so far, the rollout is really working for Keystone in that passing game. Gives him more time to scan the field, and he seems to be doing a good job of finding the open guy.
And as a freshman, traditionally, they don't like to stay in the pocket. They want to get outside, feel a little more comfortable out there. He looks like an athletic kid, so probably see more of that.
Gators with 5 down linemen. Quarterback gets hit on the play, almost picked off. Funk comes over and says, I'm going to take that out of the air. He almost intercepted it.
Yeah, Funk was just setting up to go up and grab the offensive rebound there, or defensive rebound, I guess.
Corsetti had a man in his face, like immediately. He did a really good job of getting rid of it, but by the time that ball came down, it was double coverage. Gators were waiting for it.
Yeah, I don't know if that was you so young bearing down on him, but good for Corsetti to get rid of it.
Well, the Gators, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5-man line. They're bringing the heat. Nice little inside run. But
inside reverse.
I like it. I can remember them running that with the older Nellis or
Nellis takes the ball in reverse.
I can't think of the other.
For no gain, brought down by number
Kyle
7.
Nellis?
So young.
Maybe. No, actually, he's playing flag football at Clarion with him right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He said it's been pretty fun. They get along real well. They got to know each other over the years. And the Keystone now, Corsetti at shotgun. That's going to be a quarter in. End of the first quarter, Gators 16, Keystone 0. It's 4th and 5 when we come back from the quarter change. Keystone's going for it. Or we're going to be going for it. We'll see now.
Yeah, let me squeeze my JV football story in here. The Gators took on Bradford the other night. It was Monday night over at Parkway Field. Rainy, misty, cold. Gators came out. It was they were down 26-8 at the half. Looked like I told I shouldn't tell people this, but I told my parents, look, it's cold. I think I'd head out if I were you. And the Gators ended up storming back, winning 28-26. I got to look around and make sure. Yep, the Bradford era guy is not sitting here, but the write-up in the paper the next day was a little favorable to Bradford. I don't think it quite told the whole story, but hats off to the JV football team and the coaches. That was a heck of a way to end the season. And we always talk about the future. The future looks bright. A lot of great seniors, especially on the offensive line. Obviously we talk about Peyton Stiles a lot. He's a senior, but still a lot of pieces coming back next year. So it'll be interesting to see how that all goes.
We have no score updates for you here. Quick pass, but boy, it's read perfectly by what number is that? He drilled him. They're cleaning out his face mask.
Number 13, Drew Cathy's brought down by Aiden Bliss.
Was it Bliss? It was just a solid tackle.
Yeah, trying to get a number there. I think if the field conditions continue to deteriorate, we might not know who's doing anything here with it. Being able to recognize who's who.
It's one of them nights where you get the kids' stuff home. You put it in the yard, you get the hose out, and you got to hose it off. Gators now waiting to get the play in. The Bliss or Stiles in the backfield there.
Looks like Stiles.
Yep, Stiles going to run left. He got blockers. He gets his feet chopped out and goes down for a 3-yard gain.
Yep, Carson Neely was pulling around there looking for somebody to hit, but nice tackle there by Keystone to trip Styles up.
They have 2nd and 5.
Styles again in the backfield as the Wildcat with Neely to his right. Waiting for a possible play change, checks his wristband. And he's going to follow his big lineman to the left. He's got a lot of room here. Styles might break away this time, and they're not going to get him. Peyton Styles with the long touchdown run. Gators to the left side. We have another Keystone player down at the 50-yard line.
Yeah, nice run by Peyton. There were guys laying everywhere. I mean, there were a lot of good blocks by Port Allegany.
These two big guys led him around out front, and then once he got across the line of scrimmage, I didn't want to say it too soon this time.
Yeah, we hope this guy's okay. We'll get a number here as soon as we can figure out who that is. Hope he's all right.
He's up. Is that number 2?
Number 2, Jacob Henry. Happy to see him walk off on his own power.
Yeah, he's a name that actually I think he might lead him in touchdowns, or he's behind one other player.
Yeah, he's got 7 rushing touchdowns on the season. Only a sophomore, so we'll be calling his name for a couple more years.
I don't think we've seen him carry the ball yet tonight, have we?
I don't think so. You know, I'll see if I can squeeze this in. You know, we had a little technical difficulties getting things set up tonight. You know, David Bartlett is on a business trip out in the Midwest. We had to shuffle the deck a little bit, get Jeremy Moore in here running the computer. Ooh, this is
another
Austin.
Run, the big guy. Is that number 72?
79. I think it was Austin Freer.
Austin Freer.
Austin Freer on the carry is good for 2 points.
Wow.
Scored 24 nothing with 11 minutes and 1
Senior
second
Austin
first
Freer. I
half.
remember when he was in Pee Wee. There were times, Gary, he was unblockable. I was so excited to be able to see him grow up. Here he is, the senior. Just scored a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, happy to see that. You know, Austin Freer gets a 2-point conversion. Braylon Button gets a 2-point conversion. Happy to see these big dogs get their shot in the end zone.
Who's next? Miska. I'm just trying to figure
Yep,
out.
I think they're just going right down the list.
Yep.
Back to the technical difficulties. So Jeremy Morey has stepped in. He's running the dashboard here, updating the score, updating the down and distance. He's going to give us some score updates as that happens. A lot of credit to Dan Funk, who I'm sure he drove the speed limit from Olean to get here on time. He got us set up. He's the IT. He's the brains of the operation. Doug did his best. I just stood back and watched Doug give it his best, and I don't know. But we're live and we're going. So
It was funny, Kerry. It was like it all came together right at the end. I mean, right when it was go time. Almost like it was perfect, although we were feeling some stress here. Funk to kick. It's a low kick. Picked up is that 15? Yep, 15 with the carry. That is
Jorge Reyes.
Jorge Reyes, listed as a fullback defensive end. He's a sophomore.
Number 15, Jorge Reyes on the return. He's brought down by Cole Kisco and Aiden Bliss.
Quick shout out to Bruce Galford. He's watching this game in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Bruce usually tries to catch these games. He's watched a lot of basketball games over the years.
Yeah, I remember Bruce. This is Bruce around your age?
Yes.
Okay.
Same. 1 month apart. Keystone now rolls right, finds an open receiver, but he couldn't catch it, and then he was hit immediately after.
Yep, Wilfong there to break up the pass. I remember Bruce Galford amongst the early 90s. I was a young football manager at the time, trotting around, but I remember Bruce.
And I had mentioned earlier, Ron Wilfong Sr., that is Bruce's brother, actually. Yeah.
Oh.
And Bruce and I were texting today. You know, it's funny when you tell these stories, you have to be careful when you tell them over the air because people remember them differently, and then they tell you. Keystone with a quick pass in the backfield, and he slips down. The field gives away, and he's going to probably lose a yard there. But, yeah, Bruce wanted to remind me of my homecoming story that, you know, when we swiped that sign in Smithport, brought it back to the bonfire, we were not playing Smithport for homecoming. They had signs up for whoever they were playing.
Okay.
And I trust him on that because he played in the game. And
no, either way, I think you were doing a good deed. That, you know, we were having a bonfire. We needed some kindling. I think it made sense.
What better than Smithport kindling? What the rivalry, right? You know, that was.
Yeah.
So, the quick roll out to the left. Nobody's home. He just gets rid of it. Pressure was coming.
Yeah, 4 or 5 Gators bearing down on Corsetti. Sometimes throwing away is the best thing to do. Don't try to do too much.
He was pushing by the entire offensive line, or defensive line.
Yeah, back to that JV game. Jake Causer ran the show, and he ended up having all 4 touchdowns for the Gators.
Did he? At quarterback.
Yeah, he just put the team on his back and said, "Follow me." Did a great job.
Keystone the punt here. We have 9 minutes, 56 seconds to go. Second quarter, Gators lead 24-0. Good snap. Kicks up, nice punt. Styles way back, lets it drop. Keystone's going to down it.
Drew Kev's punt.
Gators will have it at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, so one last thing about the JV game. It was a lot of fun. So we're down 26-22, and Brendan Feniger, he ran it down to the 1-yard line and almost scores. If he would have scored, it would have given Bradford a lot more time. Didn't score, and then Jake ended up scoring his 4th touchdown. So it ended up working out better by being able to milk some clock. But great team effort.
Nick back at shotgun. Kaiser in motion. Quick handoff to Styles off the right side. He's got blockers. Guys are dropping. Styles is in the open field. Number 12 is going to tackle him after a big gain, Kerry.
Yeah, at some point I want to get instant replay on the broadcast because I would like to see that play again. I saw somebody go flying. You know, when Jeremy and I did the game 2 weeks ago, we were talking about pancake blocks. That is a stat on Max Preps. Yeah. And our coaches, they don't have any recorded pancake blocks, but I think they would be busy if they had to go through the whole season and record all the pancake blocks.
There was a lot of bodies going down on that one off the right side. Number 12 with a big tackle, touchdown-saving tackle, Quentin Graham. Nick back in shotgun. He's rolling left. He evades a tackler, finds an open receiver. Styles gets through his hands.
Yeah, it looks like
incomplete.
If he could have got out of the pocket earlier, it looks like he had Kaiser and Funk downfield, but had to elude a defender there to get rid of it.
That early pressure really it threw off the timing of the whole play.
So the Gators are going back to that jumbo set. I see Tarbox coming on. I see Phil Hart going on. Funk comes off. Veyu comes off.
Another quick shout out. Justin Gordon, I know you're listening. I still think your son should play football, but that is what it is. He's an outstanding wrestler. Styles keeps it coming left. Great blocking. He's still on his feet. Styles has room. Great blocking downfield. Styles cuts it back. He's going to score. Jeez.
A shifty little run there at the end. That was nice. Shifted back and forth.
He reads his blocks. He's very patient, has great vision. There is a flag, Kerry. Oh, my gosh.
I was going to say, be careful if you text Doug or I. We might end up telling a story about you.
I think there's a way to get people on this YouTube text or something, but I don't know how. But right now, is that our number? Is it 204 or 404 viewers or 207? currently, yeah, so we have currently 207 people watching. We've had as many as 407. Must be people taking a bathroom break. That's a big difference. 400 to 200.
Maybe our stories turned off nearly 200 people.
Yeah, they
said,
tuned in. They're like,
I don't
oh,
want to hear this
shoot,
anymore.
Doug and Carrie again.
So that play didn't happen, right?
No, it must have been what I didn't see what it was, but they're 10 yards. Personal foul. Okay. So now Bliss is the Wildcat. He's working his way to the right. Gets a couple yards.
So we'll add that to the list of great plays that didn't happen. There was one against Brockway that I remember. I was down there watching. Aiden Bliss came in front of our bench, took off. I'm cheering.
It was like an 80-yard run, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a tremendous run. And then you look back, and there's yellow laying on the field. And I've heard some people that have watched the game tape, and that was a little bit of a phantom block in the back, but I guess it happens. So.
Bliss keeps that. He brings it around the left side. Number 55 with the tackle. 55, Brock.
Yeah.
I'm going to let Kerry say that. That's his guy.
Brock Champlouvier.
Yes, senior. No, we appreciate our streamers. I know we enjoy doing this. We're all volunteers. Just like being part of the game. And
yeah, it's a lot of fun. Just sitting here talking with you. Had fun with Jeremy a couple weeks ago. Just sharing old stories.
Button with the punt. It's a high one into the fog. Look at that fog roll in. I don't know if you guys can see that on the stream, but it's reminding me of an NFL game they talk about in Chicago when the fog rolled in. Cameras couldn't see anything. I mean, it's coming in like smoke.
It does. I'm looking over at the
At
the screen here, and it does look like smoke.
Could it be? I think it's fog, man. Yep. That kind of weather, temperatures are just right. I had a weather and climate class. I could go into deep detail on what is happening actually, but I'm not gonna. Keystone up the middle, no gain. Seven minutes to go here in the second quarter. Gators lead 24-0.
It'll
be 2nd and 11.
Yeah, we were talking about people that text in. Andy Rifle sent me a text here talking about the Smethport-Port Allegany rivalry back in the 90s. We're just gonna move on and get back to the game.
Quick pass. Completed. He's going to have a first down. That was a bullet of a throw on the money and a catch and run. Picks up the first.
down.
Is that number 3? Number 3. His jersey's getting dirty, but that was Eli Nellis.
Yeah, I was squinting my eyes trying to figure out who that was. It's really getting, the fog's rolling in. Yeah, I talked about a youth movement before the game for Keystone. Freshman Dom Corsetti at quarterback. Eli Nellis, number 3, also a freshman.
Under center, jet sweep. Oh, boy, he runs right into he gets sandwiched by 2 Gators there. Is that Miska?
Yeah, the young boys took him down there.
Oh, my gosh, both brothers.
Miska just laid him nicely down on the ground. And
Fighting each other for tackles there.
And the carries dropped for about a 4-yard loss by the Young brothers. Brings up.
The Gators have handled the jet sweep pretty good, aside from the first time I think they ran it. The Gators going with a 5-man line. We don't see a lot of that. Some of those other teams, they're often in the 3- and 4-man line. Oh, quarterback nearly picked off by Wilfong. Heads up play by Wilfong coming back to the ball there. But the Keystone quarterback wanted to throw it somewhere else. Pump faked and held it, and then
Yeah, good for Corsetti to just get rid of it. Try, like we said, try not to do too much. You know, throw an interception. You know, a couple weeks ago we saw Yuso Young pick one off. So this defensive line, they can pick it off. So you got to be careful.
Yeah, it looked like he was looking for a screen there, a middle screen
Yeah.
of some type. Brought that ball back down. The Gators are all over it. Another quick pass and a tip. That's going to be intercepted by the Gators.
I think that was Kellen Vayu, number 4, the freshman. Yeah. He had one a couple weeks ago, pick 6, took back to the house.
Again, it was a bullet pass. This time it was tipped up in the air in the corners. When they see that, they get big smiles on their face. Five minutes, 17 seconds to go, second quarter. Gators lead 24. Keystone 0, Gators in shotgun. Gators a little mixed up here. They were running a guy on. It might have been a 12th guy.
The Gators going to take time out.
Looks like they were running in
the first half.
58. 58 was coming in, then they called him off, Tyler Philhart. It is a foggy night. Got a Halloween feel to it. We had to open the windows in here. They all fogged up.
Yeah, it is nice to be bringing the game to people, you know, from throughout the nation that are watching. I was talking to my dad about, you know, the kind of the evolution of you know, filming games. I graduated in 2001. You know, back then it was PAC TV. I don't know if you remember them, Doug. T. Lee Bennett, Matt Carinci. Can't remember who else was a part of that, but they did a great job. I've got all those games on DVD, which I probably need to get on some, you know, they were originally VHS, yes, and then they were converted to DVD, which they probably need to be converted to something else to be preserved. Jamie Evans and I talked about making a YouTube channel and compiling all that stuff. So I don't know, maybe we could you know, compile that all on this channel.
That'd be cool. Awesome. Will Fong, shotgun, gives it to Stiles. He's running right patiently, and he breaks off. Peyton Stiles is going to score. No flag.
33-yard run. Peyton Stiles shooting up the sideline. That was a good run.
He comes outside patiently, waits for the blockers to be set up, and then that speed of Stiles. The Gators, yeah, and I said earlier, Stiles and Bliss over 2,000 yards rushing and receiving. It's impressive. Those are two solid backs running behind an outstanding line.
Yeah.
Funk's going to go for the extra point here.
Yeah, we hate to put the cart before the horse. You know, I'm probably more guilty of it, talking about possibly having 2 1,000-yard rushers on the same team. Coming into the game, I had mentioned before that Stiles has 797, Aiden Bliss has 788. You know, so a little over 200 yards to go for each player. We have tonight's game. We have the game against Otto Elder next Friday, and then the playoffs. So we'll see how long the playoffs last, but that would be a heck of an accomplishment for the team and those individuals to achieve that milestone.
Yeah, all those playoff games, they add to that total. The further you go, bigger those stats get. So talking about that, the playoffs and that the single A teams, Eldred, I believe, is playing Cameron County tonight.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see who comes out on top there. I think that's at Duke Center. It's always a tough place to go play.
Funk to kick off after a successful extra point. It's a good kick, deep, right around the 13-yard line. Runner's going to go down around the 33. Did not get his number. Number 3, Eli Nellis again. Yep.
Yeah, so, you know, for the district, there's Region 1, 2, and 3, of which the Gators and Keystone are Region 2. But once it comes to the playoffs, you know, Port Allegany's in Class A, and I was trying to figure out who's, you know, how that looks to be shaking out. We'll talk about that after this next play.
Keystone shotgun here. Now they're looking. They need to put it together a drive like they opened the game with. That was their best drive of the game. And they did that with a mix of run and pass.
So it looks like for the Class A playoff picture, it looks like the number 1 seed is going to be Red Bank Valley. Looks like Port Allegany's going to be the number 2 seed. Brockway, the 3 seed. And then I couldn't figure out beyond that. Cameron County, Coudersport, Otto Eldred all seem to be in that mix. I don't know how that works as far as do they do, you know, strength of schedule. I know a couple years ago there was like a power system where if you beat a Region 2 team, you got more points. I don't know.
There's historically a lot of different factors, and I think Union will probably be in that mix too.
Well, I wasn't sure because I think Union was 4-4 coming into this week. And I think Union AC Valley is a good team. When Jeremy and I did that game, they could throw the ball at halftime, up to the half. It was a dogfight. And the Gators, I think, you know, under the direction of their coaches in the second half, tweaked some things, and they came out and looked like a completely different team. We talk about momentum all the time and how once you swing the momentum back the other way, it was just too late for Union AC Valley that week.
Out of the shotgun, quick pass, breaks a tackle. Oh, breaks! He almost broke one more. That was number 20, Sloganhop. Did a good job breaking a tackle. Almost broke another tackle, and he would have been gone.
Yeah, slipped by 2 Gator defenders there. Finally brought down, I think it was Julian Capel. So Riley confirms that. So
Corsetti with the quick pass. First down, Keystone. 4:50 to go. Keystone looking to put together a drive, try to get some points on the board before halftime. Inside run, going to be tackled for a loss there.
Yeah, Carson Neely wraps him up in the backfield. That looks to be a loss of
Number 6,
4 or so.
Weaver with carries. He dropped for about a 4-yard loss by number 51, Carson Neely.
Now back to last week. I don't really want to go back there, but Port Allegany played Red Bank Valley. That was a good performance by Red Bank. I always look too far ahead, but I did get talking to somebody in the stand or along the sidelines. And he did say that their top 3 receivers are all seniors. Ashton Kale, Mason Klaus, Ashton George, all great receivers. I'm going to be happy to see them go. If their parents need any help packing their bags for college, I will volunteer. They're obviously tremendous players. So it'll be interesting to see what Red Bank, I know this season's not even over with, but it'll be interesting to see how that team looks next year. Braylon Wagner will be back, their quarterback. He's obviously an excellent player.
That's one team that just doesn't seem to drop off, Kerry. I don't know how they do it. Pass, deep pass, wide open, not wide open. Oh, and he may have been hit a little bit early. Incomplete, but we're going to have pass interference on that.
Yep, Julian Capel was bearing down on the receiver, broke that pass up, but might have got there a little soon.
Capel was coming over from the safety spot, and he got there in a hurry. He just wasn't able to turn around. He tried to make the tackle before the ball got there. He made up some good ground to get there. And maybe at halftime we'll see if we can get some scores to you at that point. 4:15 to go in the second quarter. Gators lead 31, Keystone 0. We're not getting any score updates, but our website isn't giving us anything. So I will receive text if somebody wants to send me some score update. So Keystone moving the ball here on this drive one way or another. An inside run. Little to no gain there, Kerry.
Yeah, speaking of scores, you know, that's what got me talking about Red Bank Valley. They played last night against Brockway, in Brockway, I believe. And that was one, you know, Brockway had surprised Red Bank last year, knocked them off in the playoffs, which really helped the Gators, frankly. That game was tied 21-21 with 2 minutes left in the first half. Kind of hoping Brockway was able to pull it out, but that prolific offense by Red Bank Valley prevailed.
Corsetti, another beautiful throw, but this time Gators are in position, nearly intercept it. Looks like they had a receiver open here to the right side, wide open.
Yeah, I think that was Capel again. He had his head turned around that time to make the play. He was just waiting for that. But I think you're right. Looking up here, it looked like there was a receiver down the right-hand side that might have been open.
I didn't see a black jersey near him, but Corsetti airing it out now. 2 deep throws on this drive. Keystone trying to take some shots. Corsetti in shotgun. Man in motion. Quick pass to 13. He's got a block. Wilfong going to bring him down. After a good gain, though, that'll be a Keystone first down.
Yeah, I was just thinking, you know, down 31-0, why not take some shots? But with a freshman quarterback, you don't want him standing in the pocket too long, you know, taking shots from this Gator defensive line. So I think going back to the quick passes, that's probably the way forward for Keystone.
Clock ticking here, 3:13 and going. Keystone plenty of time to try to get a score. 6 goes in motion quick. Corsetti throws it out rather than kind of a, he threw it, tried to lead the receiver there out. I don't think the receiver was thinking that.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the Gators go with a 5-man front. Traditionally, they do a 4-man front. They have switched to the 3-man front against Brockway. I think they did a little bit against Red Bank. So interesting to see, you know, the coaches go with a 5-man front.
I love it. I love the 5-man front. You want to bring pressure. You bring 5 guys. They cannot block all our guys. Quick pass, though. That's how you beat it. Quick passing. That should be a first down.
Yep, another first down.
Another good catch and run.
Yeah, I think that's where Keystone needs to focus on. You know, 10 yards and in, quick passes, get it out of Corsetti's hand. You don't want him standing back there too long, taking some shots from this defensive line. So they're at the 15-yard line. So this is a pretty good little drive for Keystone. Maybe take some momentum into the half.
Similar to their first drive of the game, they moved it down the field really well, mixing it up. 2 minutes, 26 seconds. Corsetti in shotgun, rolls right, another quick pass. Gator defender falls down, and the Keystone scores, number 3, Eli Nellis with the touchdown.
Wilfong just couldn't get his footing twice there. And, you know, we talked about field conditions might deteriorate a little bit as they move up and down the field, and that certainly played a factor in that play.
Yeah, we talk about the running game having an advantage in this kind of weather, but a receiver also has an advantage. He knows where he's going on his route. And if the corner slips.
Looks like number 50, Josh Beal, to kick. Nice to see the big dog here kicking.
I feel like he was a good kicker last year for them. He kicked a. What year?
Josh Beal's extra point is good. Makes the score 31-7.
Yeah, he's a senior. He was their kicker last year, I do believe. Kicked in the playoffs. Two minutes, 17 seconds left. Score, Gators 31, Keystone 7. See what the Gators want to do with the last 2 minutes here.
So I don't think we have any score updates from around the league. Let's check and see what games are out there. We talked about Cameron County, Otto Eldred.
I think Cowdy plays Bucktail tonight.
Oh, here we go. Lori Chase dropping in with some score updates. Coudersport up 34-6 on Bucktail. Smethport 14-0 over Kane. And Union AC Valley 16-7 over Ridgeway. Thank you, Lori.
Yeah, the Smithport Kane game I was kind of interested in. I thought those teams had similar records. Thought it would be a competitive game for each team.
Tristan Kaiser on return is brought down by number 11, Joey Spence.
Tackled by Joey Spence.
Their own 38-yard line.
Yeah, thank you, Lori. I mean, if anybody knows anything about Gator football, Lori, she knows a ton. She's watched, a ton of games. She's blogged about it. She's written about it. She's interviewed. I mean, she's a wealth of knowledge.
Wilfong and shotgun, going to give it to Styles. Showing patience, power, but held up at the line. Maybe a gain of 1.
So Josh Beal and Caden Rex on the tackle.
Styles is tackled for
C-Rex, I like that.
By Josh Beal. Second down.
C-Rex. There was a Rex that played for Clarion last year. There was a stud.
Yeah, receiver, right?
Wilfong, little option outside. Got a couple flags down. Couple stripes saw the same thing.
Option play to Bliss, but we have a lot of flags on the field.
Yeah, probably a hold there. Flags coming in from multiple directions, so they certainly saw something.
It is a hold.
Offensive holding, the 10-yard penalty. Still be second down.
Minute 34 till the half. Funk comes in, wide receiver. Kaiser, I assume wide receiver.
Yeah, not to be checking my phone here, but Adam Hamilton texted in. He said, I think he coached with you back in the day for youth, but he has some score updates, and looks like Central Clarion 42-0 over St. Mary's. Elk Catholic 7-0 over Sheffield.
Wilfong out of shotgun, a tight formation. He's looking underneath. The pass it's tipped by Keystone and ends up in Kaiser's hands with a solid gain. That's tough luck for Keystone there. That ball went right through the linebacker's hands. Kaiser was ready, Johnny on the spot. Wilfong quick to get to the line here. Gators are going to run Bliss inside. He stays on his feet, just power. It takes 3 Keystone guys to bring him down. Number 12, number 2, number 8 of Keystone.
So we're under a minute to go here. We have Port Allegany has 2 timeouts left.
Gators now are just going to down it out here. He spiked it.
Gators are at their own 48-yard line.
He did spike it. And I think the Gators have all their timeouts here, don't they?
What was the college football game? I think it was last week that had some poor clock management. Was that the Colorado game where they were? I know they blew the 29-point lead. I didn't watch it, but I'm trying to.
Wilfong out of shotgun. He's going to keep it. He's going to run. He breaks a tackle. He's going to get out of bounds. Solid gain for Wilfong. Clock should stop. Out of bounds. 37 seconds to go. Gators are trying to put some more points up here before halftime.
Yeah, Jeremy, you're right. There were some questionable things in that Bills-Giants game. I am a Buffalo Bills fan, but I'm past 40 years old, and I did not see the end of that game. I wanted to stay awake, and I just couldn't do it. I rolled over at 12:21. I still had my glasses on, the remote on my chest. And
4 wide receivers for Wilfong out of shotgun. He's scanning the field. Over the middle. In the hands of Bliss. Ball comes out of his hands. Almost thought he was going to catch his own deflection. Ball fell through. He was open. He was open down the seam. 31 seconds to go, second quarter. Again, Wilfongen shotgun. Looks like we're going to get a timeout here.
Yeah, so while the Gators call a timeout, we think this is a good opportunity to announce the cheerleaders. It is a cold jury night. They are out here cheering the team on, getting the fans fired up. Lily Babcock, Willow Babcock, Savannah Hart, Stephanie Alcock, Trinity Hamilton, Serenity Schroll, Kaya Yenser, Mila Senna, Hannah Wirtz, Vanessa Bear, Elena Reinhart, Destiny Jimerson, Lily Ann Reed, coached by Terry Austin, Alexis Reed, and Madison Kotwitz.
Yeah, it's 4th down and 4 for the Gators. They have one timeout remaining. Yep, they are in punt formation. Braylon Button to punt. There's a chance for Braylon to work on pinning him inside the 10. Nobody's back for Keystone. He got a great bounce. Ball's down to about the 10-yard line. Great punt. Braylon. Double B. Braylon Button.
In the first half.
So we're approaching halftime. I'm hoping my wife, Kristen, brings up a cheeseburger or a hot dog.
Tell her to bring me one. Just kidding. I had a really good dinner. I'm not hungry for once. Keystone, did they down it there? Or there was a penalty? May have been a false start. They're just going to go to half here on that penalty. So we're going to let Jeremy give his thoughts on how the game has gone so far. Carrie, we'll get back on live after halftime. I'm sure the camera is going to stay on the halftime show.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll kick it over to Jeremy. Jeremy and I were fortunate to do the game. That was against Union AC Valley.
Yep, against Union.
And, yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was a good game for the Gators. Since we were working together, the Gators took that trip down to New Bethlehem and played Red Bank Valley. We weren't sure what was going to happen. Ran into a buzzsaw. Red Bank Valley is a very good team. Didn't get a chance to watch the game last night, but maybe Brockway figured out maybe something that the Gators could take away if they happen to play them again. So.
Sure. Yeah, like you said, you really weren't sure after last year's playoff win there against Red Bank up here. We go down to New Bethlehem, long trip, and unfortunately the buzzsaw that is the Red Bank Valley Bulldogs kind of came out to play. So long trip back up to Port Allegany last Friday. But here tonight, 31-7 score. Keystone has had many opportunities. They've tried to put a few drives together, starting to throw the ball a little deep. I think that might be a little bit of the desperation here, down 31-0. But field conditions certainly not helping either team. We've seen slips and falls, drops, fumbles from both units tonight. So, I think Keystone come back out and want to throw the ball a little bit in the second half. Obviously, we know that is Port Allegany's kind of Achilles heel this year. But some score updates. We do have Bucktail now winning the game. It's Countersport is winning 41-6. Elk Catholic over Sheffield 17-0, and Cameron County leading the Otto Elder Terrors 24-0. So those are some local scores, and we have the Keystone Marching Band out on the field right now. But yeah, solid first half of football for the Gators. We saw some nice runs. We had that one run from Stiles called back on a penalty. Unfortunately, he did make up for that later on. But yeah, I think a good half of football. The Gators should be pretty happy going into halftime.
Yeah, now that Cameron County up 24-0 over Otto Eldred. Otto Eldred, I haven't followed them closely, but it looks like they've had some games where they can score some points.
Mhm.
You know, I wasn't sure how that game was going to go, but Cameron County, they have a pretty good quarterback in Bauman, I think you pronounce his name. Malachi Zuckel's a pretty good running back. They have a pretty big offensive line, and their tight end, I mean, he looks like what a tight end is.
Yeah.
So we have Otto Eldred traveling here next Friday. That'll be the last game of the regular season for the Gators. So we'll see how that goes.
Yep.
My wife did bring me 2 hot dogs.
Oh,
so
nice.
I'm a happy man. I'll
Yeah.
sign off here in a little bit.
Well, speaking of dinner, I'll put a plug in for a local business. I ordered dinner from the Friendly Inn, and I was about to go over and get it, and I get the text from you, and, come down and help us out tonight, and they get over there, and it wasn't quite ready, so I had to leave and hustle to get down here. So
I appreciate you coming down in a pinch. We like to give you as much advance notice as we possibly can, and that's what you got tonight.
Yep, that was more than enough. And as I told you when we did the Union game, that this is a dream come true to be up in the booth and to be on air. So anytime that I can, be a part of this and even help you guys out just here on the stream and doing the banner, it truly is an honor. And I thank you again for asking me and keeping me in mind. So, I appreciate as much notice as you could give.
I appreciate you filling in. The text back was very quick. I appreciate that.
Yep.
We need to add as many people to the stream team as we can to have the ability to do it. Not all of us have a voice. Trying to look for a nice word. Nice is yours.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that.
You have a good voice for this, so we appreciate having you part of the team.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. All right, we're going to just sign off here and let the marching bands do their thing.
give a big hand to the Keystone Panther Marching Band.
The Port Allegany Gator Marching Band is proud to present their 2023 halftime show. The show opens with Heartache Tonight and Famous by the Eagles, followed by Do the Kind of Love featuring the trumpeters Madison Philhart and Elena Pullman, the trombonist Aiden Clark. The show closes with Happy Together as recorded by the Sailors. The band is under the direction of Brad Stewart and assistance from Mr. Jason Madison. The color guard advisor is Sarah Lindsay and the drum majors are Ray Madison and Ray Lindsay.
the Port Allegany Gator Marching Band. They sounded fantastic tonight.
Okay, as the teams come back out on the field for the start of the second half, we have some updated scores for you. Coudersport is still leading Bucktail 41-6. Elk Catholic over Sheffield 17-7. Cameron County leading the Otto Elder Terrors 24-0. Karnes City over Bradford 42-7 in the second quarter. At halftime, Brookville and Punxsutawney are tied at 0. Central Clarion up on St. Mary's 42-0 at the half.
6-3-8-5-6-3.
DuBois over Montauk 14-0 in the second quarter. And Smethport leading Kane 14-0 in the second quarter. Union AC Valley and Ridgeway, it's 16-7 at the half. And also Glendale over Curwensville 12-0 in the second quarter.
Well, welcome back. Carrie, how was that burger?
My wife, Kristen, brought me up 2 hot dogs. Thank you, Kristen.
Nice.
They were good.
Nice. So as we get closer to second half kickoff, let's talk a little bit about Eldred, who we play next week. And I think they're an interesting team. Last year, they had a great offense, Carrie. And then their quarterback decides not to play football. He did have a pretty serious injury, and I think he was geared more to coming back for another sport. So then the McGee boy takes over quarterback, and all he's done is light it up, really, at the quarterback position, and their offense is just as good as it was last year. They have a potent offense, and I think it'll be an exciting team to watch next week as I see their, what they're doing to Cameron County. They're having a solid night.
Who's winning that game? Is it Cameron County or is Eldred winning that game?
I believe Eldred is winning.
We got to check our scores because we're getting flipped around because on the website for D9 and 10 Sports, it has Bucktail winning, but we had somebody else confirm that that's actually Coudersport winning, so. Okay, so Cameron County is up 24-0, right?
And my source says it's Eldred. I don't know where my source is getting their info. So we do have some score mix up here,
But either way,
though, Cameron County, though, I think when was it Bachman? Actually, I thought he played really well the game we played him, and then he got injured and went out. But they have a decent passing game, and they're pretty well balanced too, Cameron County.
Yeah, Cameron County, I was mentioning that earlier. Yeah, Cameron County's winning. Okay.
Cameron County is
just checking
winning.
our sources here.
I'm giving Eldred all these kudos.
Well,
although I still do like their offense. In the McGee, I'd like to talk about the McGee boys. Like, I believe he's the youngest brother. There might be one younger, but they're all super athletes.
Yeah.
Have been great football players. And McGee himself in junior varsity, I believe his 9th grade year, broke his leg, pretty serious injury, and he's come back to be quite a football player. And those are hard injuries to come back from.
Yeah, there's 3 or 4 McGee boys. I know Gary, the dad, and Susan is actually a Port Allegany graduate. But yeah, very athletic. Who was the oldest boy? He really good wide receiver.
Cameron,
that's right. That was during their run there. They had 2 or 3 really good years. That was a real solid team. But there are some athletes on that Otto Elder team, so we'll see what happens next week.
all right, Funk to kick off. It's a low driver, but it's going to bounce right to the Keystone kick returner. He comes up. That's tackled immediately. But that was Jacob Henry on a return. I think in the first half I saw Jacob Henry escorted off the field by a referee, and I don't know if it was because of maybe possible head injury and the ref saw it and made him go off, but that was something I forgot to bring up in the first half.
Yeah, he's brought down by Cole Kisko there on the tackle.
So the McGee quarterback for Eldred, I got some info here. There are 2 younger brothers. There's 4 altogether. 13 on the catch.
So is it Keth? Is
Drew
that how
Keth.
that's how you pronounce it?
Yep.
Drew Keth. I think I said Keith in the
Well,
pregame, but
Gary, that's how I pronounce it. Keth.
Mr. Riley's got it as Keth as well. So if we're
Bring
wrong,
up 2nd and 7.
I don't know.
I've been wrong on a few of these. Yeah, I have another really good shout out after this play. Shotgun. Corsetti rolling to his right. Nice deep pass receiver. It's overthrown.
I thought Funk might come across and snag that, but yeah, what do you got there, Doug?
He was trying to go to Nellis. Well, we cannot not shout out Sean Lathrop, who really got all this going through a lot of hard work. And we definitely miss you up here in the booth, Sean, especially with all this tech stuff. I know you would have had it all fixed and ready for us. So. But we definitely miss you, and appreciate the opportunity to be part of this, and you were a big reason why I'm up here. Little play action, wide open wide receiver. That's number 20, I believe Slogenhop.
Now the Gators, they still have that 5-man front, like a 5-2, 2 safeties over top. Probably one safety has one side of the field, one safety has the other. I'll have to double check here and see if that's the way they appear to be lined up. But
So there, yeah, look more. It must be a little bit of a zone, so that receiver's running by the corner staying midfield. Safeties are supposed to pick that up.
yep, we just need the safety to slide over there and play center field a little bit.
Under center now. Jet sweep outside. It's got some blocking, but a lot of black jerseys there. Corner comes around to shut it down. That's Will Fong with the stop.
Yeah, it's good you heard from Sean. He's on California time, so I'm looking at your phone. What is it? So it's about 5:28 out in California. I'm sure Sean has wrapped up a hard day of consulting work, probably sitting down with a Jolt Cola. So happy to hear from you, Sean. And we're happy to be here at Gator Field talking about the Gators.
Yeah, that's one team we have. Of course, Eddie goes deep again, and 13 makes a great grab. He went into the air, outplayed his defender, went up and got it. That's what you do when you're a little bit shorter. You go up and get it.
Yeah, and it looks like that's what it appears to me is they have the 2 safeties. They each have a half of the field because it looks like Vayu kind of let the guy run by him, which, you wouldn't let him run by you unless it was cover 2 like that. So I think he was expecting someone to be back there and just got over there a little late.
So Keystone coming out in the second half, attacking the corners here, one-on-one, or the zone alignment. Quick pass, immediately tackled by the corner on that play.
So that was 1st and goal, right? Because I don't see a down and distance markers. So this brings up 2nd and goal.
So Keystone went in at halftime, and these guys do a lot of film work. They got guys down in the end zone. They really study the game. They make adjustments. They made an adjustment here to attack the outside. And even that short wide receiver screen, that was attacking the outside of the field. Corsetti's getting rid of the ball quickly. Man in motion. They fake the jet sweep, then run it inside right into 2 different Gators. Carson.
It's like Carson Neely, you so young, were there to take him down in the backfield. 3rd and goal, 3rd and a long goal. Back to technology there, watching game film. I mentioned back in the day it was PAC TV filming on VHS tapes for us. With the advancements in technology, you can sit home and watch all these games. My dad was an old JV coach. I remember he used to have to do scouting trips.
Corsetti rolling right, looking. He's going to keep it. He tucked the ball. He just runs into 3 Gators. Styles is the main tackler on that play.
Yeah, so back in those days, you had to do scouting trips. You had to, the Gators played on Saturday afternoon. So Friday night was available to go watch, your next opponent. So my dad and the coaches would go around to whoever they were playing, either film it on an old shoulder camera, or just take notes watching. But that's what it was back in those days. With the advancements in technology and us being able to do things like this, there's a lot of time and preparation that goes into a game.
Keystone takes a timeout. With 8:25 to go in third quarter. Score 31. Gators. Keystone 7. Keystone recognizing they have an opportunity here to get in the end zone. They're going to take a timeout and come up with the play they want.
Yeah, I cringed a little bit there when Corsetti came around the side because it didn't look like he was going to get in. It looked like a couple guys bearing down on him, and I just, as a freshman, you don't want to see a guy get crunched like that. But those quick passes, 10 yards and in have been there. They're only on the 5-yard line, so I suspect.
It's fourth and 5. Now their kicker is capable of making field goals, but they want in the end zone. See what they drew up here. You got 3 wide receivers to the left, then shotgun. You're going to roll left this time. Everybody's manned up there. Oh, my gosh, he caught it, 13.
Wow.
Drew Keth, former quarterback.
Yeah, he just split the 2 Gator defenders, made a nice catch, and got in the end zone. And if you're Keystone, you got to feel good about this. Maybe you don't take the game at the end, but, to score double digits on the Gators, that's a good accomplishment. Good momentum going into next game and, into next season.
It is, Gary. This starting group for the Gators have not given up many points to teams not named Clarion or Red Bank. 2-point conversion fails, but impressive drive by Keystone. Go down and get a touchdown. Gives them 13 on the game. Gators 31. 8 minutes, 18 seconds to go. Third quarter.
Gators 31 and the Keystone Panthers 13.
So as we're all checking our phones for some score updates.
Yeah, we have Cameron County now out in front of Otto Elder, 32-0 in the third quarter. And as we look down through here, I think pretty much all the scores are the same as we had announced at halftime. Coudersport up on Bucktail. They have corrected it. It is 41-6 Coudersport over the Bucks. Central Clarion over St. Mary's, 49-0 in the third quarter.
Yeah, and I think Central Clarion's averaging, I did the math, it was 495 points, 8 games, so whatever that is, 60 plus. So we'll see if they keep pace with that. And that'll bring up that matchup with Red Bank Valley.
Will Keystone onside kick here? And the answer is no, Gary, they won't. Gators receive the kick. That's Bliss, breaks the tackle, spins the other way now. He's in the crowd, but he fights through. He's still on his feet, still fighting for yards. Gets out to the 35, 36.
Yeah, when he first came around this edge here, I thought if he could get around that edge, he had it. Nice little bear crawl technique. We've worked on that as youth coaches, and with your running backs, you get knocked down, but not all the way down. You bear crawl with that one hand and keep your feet. That was good. Nice little play.
He was in a crowd there. I did not think he was coming out, and then you saw him come out the other side, one hand on the grass, and kept going, kept fighting. Bliss to keep it out of shotgun. Good, healthy game. 6 yards.
Yes, that's kind of that traditional, stampede formation we're used to seeing. Miski Young on one side, Carson Neely on the other. Earlier in the game, we saw them both line up on the same side, and then I said, obviously going that direction, and then they turn around and pull them and go the opposite way. So it's an interesting offense, really fits our skill set.
Bliss again, shotgun. He's going to go right up the middle this time, into the crowd. Looks like he has the first down.
Now, they don't have to pass it. I know against Brockway, Aiden Bliss, they ran that stampede formation a lot, and then he ended up flipping one up the sidelines to Peyton Stiles for a long gain. I thought maybe we would see that against Red Bank Valley. Saw this formation, a ton of runs by Aiden Bliss. No passes, but hopefully we get another shot at Red Bank, and maybe we'll see something different.
Bliss again, same formation. This time he's going to go left. He's got blockers out in front of him. Again, close to the first down. 9-yard carry. Set time of the game, second half. The big boys are just starting to take over. Defense is getting tired.
Yeah, you see these guys pulling around the edge. They're just looking for someone to block. Big running lanes.
Gators looking just to impose their will with the rush game, their strength. Bliss again. Inside again. This time the outside.
Yeah, I don't know what he was
player.
playing, but he was untouched. So
Joey Spence, freshman, number 11, come in, get a hand on him, help bring him down. That's a first down.
Brady Dunlap in on a tackle. Spotted at the 41-yard line of Keystone.
So it's like Bliss is going to be split out on this play. It's Peyton Stiles' turn to run the Stampede offense.
Again, carry the Gators keeping that balance between Bliss and Stiles. Having two backs, semi-fresh, splitting carries. Stiles is going to go off to the right. He's got a lot of room. He gets tripped up by 12. Quentin Graham.
Stiles takes it off to the
Yeah,
right.
Miska Young, through his defender here in the backfield. That makes it a lot easier for the running backs to find the lane when the offensive line is getting their guy on their back.
Stiles stays at Wildcat. Gators just sticking with this power formation. Stiles now patiently works to the right, now takes off down the sideline, runs into a Keystone player, but after Peyton picks up the first down.
Yeah, you mentioned imposing their will. I mean, the Gators' strength is running the ball, big offensive line, two really good running backs, and I think we're going to see more of the same.
Gators await the play. Stiles remains at the Wildcat.
Have we heard a Smethport Kane score? Let's get back to that after this play.
Stiles mishandles the ball but gets it. Now he's running up the middle. Solid gain for Peyton.
Smethport, I think, has one win on the season. Kane looking for their first win, so interesting to see how that game pans out.
Yeah, Kerry, that's still 14-0 in the third quarter. The Hubs leading the Wolves.
Okay. And is that in Smethport, or is that on Kane's new turf field?
That is over in Kane on the nice new turf.
Okay.
It is a gorgeous field. We were over there for junior high soccer.
Oh, yeah.
And it's pretty nice. But I'm old-fashioned, Kerry. I like grass for football. You had offsides by Keystone. I don't know if Peyton drew him offsides with his hard count. The Gators remain in that stampede.
Jeremy, were you muted there? I guess you can say that because about the in the pros.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was muted. Sorry, Kerry. But going to Doug's point here about liking the grass, you see a big push now from a lot of the professional football players that they don't like the turf, that the foot doesn't give out like natural grass does, leading to a little bit more injuries than grass would. I know David Bakhtiari for Green Bay.
Yeah.
He sits out when they play on turf. Could be a big contract issue, with the league. So we'll see how that goes.
Styles with the snap, working left, some hard yards forward. Be a 2nd and short now.
On the carries and pound forward for about 8.
We have a Keystone player down.
That's by number 63, Caden Rex.
Yeah, I know with the NFL, one of the things they were talking about, so many teams have different fields. Even the turf varies from field to field. Some seem worse than the others. I think what the NFL tried to do is limit how many different types of fields there are. It's going to come down to money.
Yeah, I know there was some controversy when the Bills played Jacksonville over in London. There were some people complaining about that it felt like they were playing on concrete. So. We're happy to see that player get up, see if we can get a number here. And credit to Keystone, they're holding strong here. It's 31-13. A lot of the skill guys are your freshmen and sophomores, and they're battling. Nope.
Styles remains the Wildcat quarterback. Sort of a 3 wide receivers in quotes to the left there with it looks like
so left to right, you got Kaiser, you got Miski Young, and is that Neely? Yeah, send those guys on a button hook.
I would love to see it. And they are blocking. Styles to the left side, though. He fouls them, and he's going to get in the end zone. Peyton Styles with another touchdown.
Yeah, that reminded me of the beginning of the game where they lined up Miski Young, Carson Neely on one side and just said, hey, we're going to run it this way and try to stop us.
So with 3 minutes, 27 seconds in the third quarter, Gators go up 37. Looks like they're going to go for the 2-point conversion here. Is that Bliss back in the –
I thought maybe we'd see another one of the big dogs get a chance to –
Are they under
the
center here? No. Yep, Bliss, he's going to throw. He's looking to throw, and it gets knocked down at the line.
I think that pass was intended for number 40, Cole Kisko.
Josh Beal.
They're still working to get those linemen in the end zone.
He did have a 2-point conversion against Union AC Valley, I believe.
We should talk about Miami a little bit. They got a big game this weekend. Philadelphia, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll see what they're made of. They've had an interesting year. Sean sent a message to me about the Buffalo Bills, and the Buffalo Bills have certainly underperformed, losing to the Jets after Aaron Rodgers goes out after 4 plays was obviously a disappointing start to the season. Traveling all the way to London, Wembley Stadium, and losing to the Jaguars was disappointing. Although, Jacksonville might as well move there because they let them stay there for the week and play back-to-back games, but, whatever.
Well, we all know it's not how you start the season in the NFL, but it's how you finish. Funk with the kickoff. Nice high kick. Right about the 17-yard line. Is that number 11? Ooh, he's met by a tackler there.
Looks like Cole Kisko wrapped him up. He's had a lot of special teams tackles. I know that's at least the second one today. Yeah, the Bills have had a weird season so far. My brother, Kyle Hauver, he always tries to be the voice of reason to me. I'm a little bit of a pessimistic Bills fan. When Milano got hurt, I said, it's over. Just cancel the season. We're done. And he said, back in 2021, the Bills were 7-6 at one point, and they ended up, having a great run. And, my emotions get in the way sometimes, but the Bills can be a frustrating team to follow.
Quick pass out to 20. Slogenhop breaks, tries to break a tackle. Wilfong got just enough of him to trip him up.
Yeah, tripped him up. The field conditions certainly played a part there to trip him up.
I think Slogenhop has been one of their stronger players today. Him and Keth have made some big plays in the passing game.
Yeah, Drew
Receiving
Slogenhop.
game.
That'll be the last time we see him. Is there a chance we'll see these guys in the playoffs? They're what, 3-5? This will make them 3-6 if the game finishes out the way we presume it will.
I feel like they're going to be on the outside
this
this
year.
year.
Be on the outside.
Ooh, strong pass, a little too hot on the receiver crossing over the middle. He had him open. If he hits him in stride, he maybe ought to catch him and run on that.
Yeah, in the playoff picture, to go back to what I said previously, I couldn't find anything on D9and10sports.com that kind of gave us some direction on what the Class A picture looks like. Red Bank obviously 1, looking like Port Allegany 2, Brockway 3, but beyond that, I can't really tell. Because Cameron County, I think, would be 7-2 after today.
Ooh, another drop pass by Keystone wide receiver. That is Slogenhop on that side.
And I think Countersport would be 6-3 if they. Yeah.
Yeah, some score updates. Cameron County over Otto Elder 32-8. Karn City over Bradford 49-13. Central Clarion over St. Mary's 49-0. Countersport over Bucktail 48-6. Elk Catholic over Sheffield 24-0. Kane still down by 14 in the fourth quarter to the Hubs. And Union AC Valley over Ridgeway 24-13. All games are still in progress.
What number is that punting for Keystone? Oh, we got a block punt. I think Kaiser got it. Yeah. One hand on it. He's gonna go check his fingers now, I think.
Make sure he still has 10 and they're all pointing in the right direction.
Pointing in the right direction. I saw he got through. I wasn't sure if he was gonna get a hand on it. He did.
Yeah, Kaiser uses his athleticism to get in there. We see the Gator coaching staff blitzing him a lot of times, most times off the edge, sometimes up the middle. But he's a disruptor.
I was curious. I did not catch the Red Bank game, and how often did they blitz Kaiser in that game, if at all? Because I think with him blitzing would really disrupt their passing game.
That's a good question. Thinking back.
Wilfong under center, fakes the pitch, and then hands it off inside to Bliss. Bliss stays on his feet, powers around the end. Nice gain for Bliss. Nice run play.
Yeah, I don't know how – I don't want to go back and watch that game again, but I'd be interested to see how often we blitzed. And that's why I'm curious to see, hopefully the Gators work their way back through the playoffs and, get another shot at Red Bank Valley because, this is an intelligent coaching staff. I know they watch a lot of game tape. I'm curious to see what they come up with. They're going to try something different.
Defensively.
Yeah.
Wilfong and shotgun. Scissors play. Bliss left side. Carrying people. Puts his arm down. Carried like you said, and he's in the end zone.
Yep, he bear crawls his way right in there for another touchdown. He's bearing down on 20 touchdowns.
It's a strong run.
How many did he have coming in? Let's check the numbers here. So he had 16 total touchdowns coming in. I don't know who scored all our touchdowns here. That must be, is that 6 touchdowns? Wilfong had one.
I think Styles and Bliss are trying to get to 1,000 yards tonight.
Yeah.
Each.
Yeah, let's just end this
They're
thing.
just doing it.
Yeah, let's let's let the speculation get over with.
Funk with the extra point. Rock solid. Funk has been nearly perfect on extra points this year with a minute 52 in the third quarter. Gators 44, Keystone 13.
Yeah, and we've speculated, or I guess I started talking about it, not to jinx things, a couple weeks ago about possibly having 2 1,000-yard rushers in the same season. Lori Chase has been texting me some score updates, so I will pose that question to Lori because I know she's been watching games for a couple decades now, and she would know if that's ever happened. I know we've mentioned some really great single-season performances, but to have 2 on the same team, same year, I just don't know if that's happened. And it hasn't happened yet. Not to jinx things, so.
There's still some pretty white jerseys out there. .58 needs to get dirty on this play for Keystone. You cannot go home on the bus with a jersey that white. Good kick by Funk. Caught at the 11. Returner's coming right, breaks one tackle and runs into Nick Wilfong, and Wilfong says, sit down.
Yeah, you mentioned number 58. That's Brendan Flebo, I'm not sure. Apologize. I watched him on that play, and he really stood his guy up. He was trying to get dirty, but he stood his guy right up.
Maybe his front side's dirty because I've only seen his backside.
Yeah, we need a pronunciation guide. I mean, Champlouvier. I don't know if that's Flebot or Flebo. I don't know. A lot of French-Canadian names, possibly. We've got Veyu, so.
True, and boy did Red Bank, they butchered that name. Almost intercepted there by the Gators.
Yep, right on cue. Veyu, often mispronounced as Valu or something of that nature. But
nearly with his second pick of the game. Gators were ready for that deep pass down the sideline, so they've adjusted to that. Keystone's initial drive after the half. And
yeah, my name is Hauver, and I've had people butcher that name for years, and it's Hauver.
Keystone in the shotgun. Another tip ball, nearly intercepted. That was Bliss who almost came down with it.
Yeah, I thought maybe that would be Yuso Young. I mentioned him earlier. He had the interception. Was that the game, Jeremy? Was that the game you and I did?
It was.
Was it?
It was.
Yeah, he mossed his guy. There was two mosses that game. Jared Funk had a moss, and Yuso Young, of all people, had a moss. It was good.
Gators still their starting defense out there. I think they want to get to the fourth quarter here probably before they switch. Keystone in shotgun. Looking deep again. It's a beautiful spiral, but Gators are on top of that. Is that Capel getting over there?
No, I see Capel right here. That must be Wilfong.
Wilfong, yep, played it. He was deeper than the receiver. That's how you play it. He was in position. It is a gorgeous pass. And he's just a freshman, so big things for Corsetti's future, I think, throwing that ball.
Yeah, I mentioned before about how impressed I am that these guys can step in as freshmen and sophomores and just play really well, especially at the quarterback position.
Keystone the punt. No block there. 40 Kisco is coming hard on that one. That one's lands out of bounds. Let's see where they spot this. I'm always interested at the math they use to figure out where that ball goes out of bounds. You know when it's in the air.
Yeah.
They're using trig I think, to figure that out.
Take over 1:20 to go.
Yeah, thinking back to that young quarterback discussion, you know, we were here. I think it was the first game we worked together against Smethport. Freshman Jack Sherry stepped in, played pretty well for a freshman. You know, Jace Ferguson's a sophomore. He obviously excelled. Or no, he's a junior. He excelled as a sophomore. Braylon Wagner, sophomore for Red Bank Valley.
Yeah. Was it Kane, I think, had a freshman quarterback as well.
And then obviously Corsetti for Keystone. Union AC Valley, that was, man, who was that?
85. Probably close to
Was it
4.
Dittman?
Brody
Was he the
Dittman?
quarterback? I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
I just
That's a
took out
name
all,
I remember.
I took out all my, I had a stack of papers here from all the games we've done, and I was doing a little PA work for junior high. I had all those rosters listed, so I cleared all that out.
Tight formation for the Gators here. Man in motion. Going to give it to Bliss outside. He gets outside, too. He's got blockers. They're pancaking people in front of him. Good gain for Bliss. He's racking up the yards today, Kerry.
Yeah, that was a nice run. Obviously, you know, 2 lead blockers there. I thought maybe Bliss was going to get tripped up before that just by his own guys. I mean, there were just bodies laying everywhere, and you know, good job to get around that pile, and nice run.
So 30 seconds, counting down here, 44-13, third quarter.
So it looks like we're starting to see some subs. I see number 25, Colton Crow, coming in.
Will Fong in the shotgun. Crow goes in motion. Little pitch inside to Styles now. He's outside. Working his way, fighting to get in the end zone, still fighting, and he scores. Styles with another. That might be Styles' third touchdown today.
Pass to Peyton Styles is good for a 14-yard gator.
Yep, Styles came in with 797 yards rushing, 10 touchdowns, receiving 255 and 2 additional touchdowns there. So that was 12 total coming in. We think he's got 3. That'll put him at 15. Pretty impressive duo.
A monstrous rushing season, which I think we kind of forecasted earlier in the year with that line. We knew was going to be solid. And Styles and Bliss are 2 of the top backs in District 9. Funk for the extra point. He was just a little off on that one. And the extra point is no good. The score is 50 for the Gators, 13 for Keystone. 6 seconds left in third quarter.
Yeah, this game dragging on a little bit just because of all the scoring. Jeremy, I don't know if you have any score updates over there. We've got to be getting to probably close to the end of some of those other games.
Yeah, I'm looking down through here right now, Kerry, and Smethport still over Kane, 14-0 in the fourth quarter. Elk Catholic over Sheffield, 24-0. We have Karn City over Bradford, 56-14. And Cameron County and Otto Eldred still listed at 32-8.
Thank you for the score updates. You know, we joked around when we introed you last time against Union AC Valley. You know, Doug and I had been talking the week before about Jim Stair, what a class act he was. We, you know, said we couldn't get Jim Stair, but we got the next best thing. We got his nephew, Jeremy Morey. But another one of your uncles is Sean Lathrop.
Yes, he is. Yeah, yep. Yeah, absolutely. And it was nice to hear you guys giving Uncle Sean the kudos and you know, kind of getting this thing all started up here in the booth. And also, you know, a big part of the youth football program back when that started.
Oh, Keystone lost the ball there. He got held up there, I thought, and he lost it, but I think he might have fallen on it. But, yeah, I mean, I'd like to share a story about Sean Lathrop, but his youngest daughter, same age as my oldest daughter, and he was coaching. He was going to coach T-ball that year, and he asked me to help with him, and I had done no coaching at all, and he really pulled me into it, and that's where I got my start with youth coaching, and I fell in love with it. But really, it was Sean taking me under his wing, and he was just a good mentor with what a youth coach should be, and I appreciate that opportunity. And since then, I had the chance to coach probably some sports I shouldn't have been coaching, but I did coach some soccer, and I helped coach basketball, but I don't know what good I did. Luckily, I worked with Jamie Evans, who's a basketball wizard.
Yeah.
But and then youth football was absolutely my favorite of all the sports. It was just a joy, and it all started because Sean asked me to help him with T-ball, which I thought at the time was way too much. And looking back, man, T-ball.
Yeah, that was when I first started coaching. It was T-ball, and looking back, I didn't quite have the patience then that I have now at 40 years old, and it almost exhausted me that first year and said, I don't know if I can do this.
Patience is the key to that. That's hitting off a tee at that age.
Yeah, but back to youth football, Brandon Bliss got our Port Allegany youth football off the ground. He's done an excellent job with that. Sean was one of the OG coaches back then. I can remember going to a game early on, and I was standing there on the sidelines, and a kid, got dinged up a little bit. You don't see too many major injuries in youth football, but Sean said, just rub some dirt on it. And the kid bent over and picked up some dirt and rubbed it on his hand.
Oh. Styles had his hands on that when he was thinking about the score, and the ball got through his hands there. He would have had a pick six on that one.
Yeah, you had mentioned Jamie Evans there about coaching with him. I was going to mention about how good of a basketball player he still is. He's what, 14? He's probably 53, 54 years old. And, we go up there and ball sometimes. And he can still hang with the young the guys.
Trying to figure out which striped shirt is Jamie's out there right now. Another deep spiral. Oh, they had it. That ball was in the hands of the Keystone receiver, but he dropped it. He had a step on his man on that route. Another gorgeous throw from Corsetti.
Just got a text from one of my buddies, Troy Glasgow, watching at home. Troy and I were classmates and buddies to this day. He used to play right tackle. I was the right tight end back then. We ran the wing T offense. He and I, our favorite play was 43 dive. We used to run that, and we used to cross block it. The guys didn't see it coming, and opened up some big holes for Jason Nick, and it was fun.
Keystone quarterback, throws another rainbow, but the Gators are in position there. And Funk comes over one hand, knocks that ball away. Funk can probably get 10 feet in the air, I think, when he jumps.
Yeah, I think Jared's doing a little bit of dunking on the basketball court, so I suspect we'll probably see a few this year. Only a sophomore. Certainly, if he can dunk this year, we'll see some more down the road. But there's some challenging teams in the North Tier League in basketball. We mentioned Otto Eldred coming over here next week for football. They are the program to beat right now in basketball.
Yeah, clock is 35 point. We're looking at the Mercy Rule score. Clock is stopping. Yeah, 9:14 to go here in the fourth quarter. Gators lead 50, Keystone's 13. Gators with their second team defense out there. Second team offense.
Yeah, Jake Causer running the show. I highlighted him earlier in the JV game. He had 4 rushing touchdowns. Did a great job running the show. Let's see who we have out here. Trips to the right. It's like Valen McFall, Colton Crow.
Who's that? Is that 44? Is that Brendan? Is he 44? Fenniger?
Yeah, 44 is Brendan Fenniger. I think Jake called his own number there. Yeah, it looks like over here at Tripp's side is Valen McFall, Colton Crow, Aiden Smith, I think that's Feniger in the
Brings up third
backfield.
down.
I think Liam Hoover up top.
Jake's quick pass to the back. He slips down immediately. Zone footing. I think that was Smith.
Lateral out to number 30, Aiden Smith.
Aiden Smith. Yep.
Yeah, Aiden Smith ran really well on Monday night against Bradford. They kept feeding him the ball, and he ran pretty well.
Jared Schroers brings up fourth down and about 11, maybe 12.
Fourth down. The Gators look to punt here. Is this their backup punter? Who is their backup punter? Was that Button?
That was Tarbox.
Oh, it was a good punt, but it bounces into the end zone for a touchback.
Ethan Tarbox's punt goes into the end zone.
Yeah, since a lot of the JV guys are in, I keep talking about that game. Tyler Philhart was the kicker for JV, and he almost put it in the end zone a couple times. That was something to see. Ethan Tarbox handled the punting duties.
Yeah, Gators will be looking for a new punter next year. It's Braylon Button. Is the senior, double B.
Yeah, and Uncle Sean was just texting me. I'm trying to think back. We used to play in a flag football league over in Bradford that was pretty rough. I don't know. Sean probably remembers. I think he blew out his knee playing. Isaac Greeley came up and played with us a couple times, and I remember seeing some. It was pretty much full contact, and he put some guys on the ground as you would expect.
Yeah, Keystone's taking a timeout there. 6:59 to go in the fourth quarter. The fog has kind of moved on a little bit. Boy, it got really foggy there in the first half. It was kind of cool.
Yeah. I see Jeremy scrolling over there for some score updates.
Yeah, we have Cameron County on top of Otto Elder 38-8 in the fourth quarter.
Wow.
Central Clarion on top of St. Mary's 56-0. Countersport still over Bucktail 48-20 in the fourth quarter. And Smethport and Kane still holding at 14-0.
So Central Clarion not quite to 60 yet. That might bring their average down.
Keystone, running back, is met by a host of Gators.
I think that was number 74, Ethan Tarbox. Swallowed up the Keystone running back there. We've mentioned him before. I think he's going to be a big-time player for the next 2 years, only a sophomore.
Yeah, I see him stepping into the spots. Some of these big linemen were losing, Button and Young. There's two spots opening up. They're also losing Freer and Kisco off the line. Nice fake. I was totally fooled. You get a good carry inside for Keystone. I watched the wrong ball carrier on that one.
So Lori just came in with an answer to my question about two 1,000-yard rushers in the same season. She mentioned Blaine last year with 1183 and Noah 970. Came close, but that seems to be the closest we could find. Thank you, Lori.
How many receiving yards did Noah have? He had 900 something.
Really?
They had a solid year. Go ahead.
900 receiving and 900 rushing.
I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
Of course, I have a biased memory. No, it was impressive.
I was
last year, no doubt about it.
Yeah, that was a great year.
I know Noah had over 2,000 yards combined rushing and receiving last year. Another solid carry for Keystone there.
Looks like Liam Hoover and Valen McFall tag teamed him there.
He's brought down by number 2, Liam Hoover, and number 20, Valen McFall. Gets out to the 50s. He's good for another first down.
Yeah, I love Gator history, as you know. I kind of mix that into the games. I'll pick it up after the play here.
Keystone under center. Quick handoff outside. Good run. He's met right at the first down marker. That's Eli Nellis again.
I was looking at the single season passing records and receiving records, and still interesting to see Matt Bodemer in there. Nick Conway was in there. Tice Miller was in there. That was, I think it was 2011, 2012. Those were just really impressive teams. That was a fun run.
Another quick inside run, and they're finding room here on this drive inside on the Gators defense. First down, Keystone. 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Keystone moving the ball, and in the when the Gators have subbed down, there hasn't been that big of a drop off this year. So we'll see if the Gators can bend, not break here.
Moses with the tackle. Oh, the back fell down. Quarterback scrambling to get on that fumble.
Yeah, we knew the field conditions were going to play a
Gators
part.
ball. Gators ball.
And I think there was an opening around the right-hand side for Keystone.
Yeah, he put that ball out there for the back. He had already slipped to the ground. Quarterback did his best to get over to get on that ball, but 2 or 3 Gators were there too. 3 minutes, 38 seconds to go, fourth quarter. Gators lead 50-13.
I'm just thinking back to what you said about Noah. 900 yards rushing, 900 yards receiving. That's pretty good as an understatement.
Honestly, the year before, Kerry, him and Blaine both would have probably gone over 1,000 each. But Noah got caught up with the COVID scene. He would miss the Union game and the Countersport game. I don't remember what Blaine finished with 2 years ago, but I think that was a really big year for them statistically. Causer keeps it, runs left. He's got room. Trying to cut back, gets to the stick. He'll be probably just short of the first down, although it looks like they're spotting him further back. The last time the Gators lost to Keystone was here 2 years ago. And Noah had a day, 190 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns, and a loss. Gators lost on the last play of the game.
Wow.
And I'm pretty sure it was a Nellis that caught a pass down here over there by the 10-yard line and took it to the house. And that was a tough one to swallow.
Yeah, I don't remember that game. I was probably here, but
it was a great game back and forth. That's the last time Keystone has actually beat the Gators in the last. I'd say that's probably the last 4 tries. This will be their 5th try in the last 4 years. We met them in the playoffs twice. Last year met them, then the year before met them again. That was a really tight game. Came down to the last play of the game. A.J. Wiley breaking up, I think, a 2-point conversion that may have tied it or taken the lead. And then we went on to face Red Bank that year and jumped out on them 14-0, and then they came in. So here comes Clauser around the right side, gets tripped up by 13. Drew Keth making the stop. Minute 30 ticking down here.
yeah, I was talking to somebody the other day. Looks like the Gators are going to win this. This will make them 7-2. I don't know how this season will finish out, but however it finishes out, I hope that Gator fans are happy with the result. Going to the Final Four last year was awesome. Doing it back in 2012 was awesome. But it is such a difficult road to get back to that level. To win this many games and probably have a couple more under their belts.
We're going to have a hold there, but Colton Crow doing a good job of reading his blocks. I thought maybe the wide receiver he'd spun his guy around and then just kind of took him to the ground. That's going to come back. It is a battle, and some things the Gators will have to think about next week, how important that game is to them at all. If two teams have a bye, then I imagine they play their starters as long as they have to, against Eldred. But if the top team gets a bye and we're the second team, you don't really need that game. We're not going to lose the second seed. You could get the rest you want, all the rest you want, and play your seconds next week. Something the coaches have to think about. Not risk injury.
Yeah, and back to what I was saying about a successful season.
Is that Smith there? Gets his feet taken out from under him.
Yeah, if the field conditions were a little better, we might have saw him shoot through there for a few more yards. But, not to say, sound like an old timer, but back in the day, you played the teams around you. You played Cottersport, Cameron County, Otto Eldred, Smethport, on and on. Now, now we're getting where we know Keystone, Union AC Valley, Red Bank Valley. There's some road trips on the schedule. And it's unfortunate the way the schedule sets up where, we got a neighbor 17 miles down the road, Cottersport, and we haven't played them in how many years?
They've somehow dodged us, Gary.
These are the years that I think it would have been nice to play them.
I'm hoping we see them in the playoffs, Gary.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are. So time is wound down. We thank you, Gator Nation, for listening to the stream. We apologize for the beginning, working out some kinks, but we'll be here next week with Port Allegany and Eldred. Thank you, Jeremy, Carrie, and thank you, Mr. Funk, for coming. He doesn't have a mic up there, but
yeah, Dan Funk came in big for us.
He was huge.
I think Doug had it all under control, but then Dan came in and just kind of cleaned up some things. And
I would not have figured out the computer. There's things going on there, but thank you all. And how many viewers we ended up to?
885.
885. So thank you, streamers. Catch you later.
Yep. Thank you, Doug. Thank you, Jeremy. And we'll see you next Friday.